Hi there, welcome to the Waffle Flower channel. This is Nicole and today I'm sharing a card idea using the new Morning Glories stitched stamp set and the new embroidery hoops dies. And we're going to create some framed up Morning Glories to adorn this really pretty card. I'm going to start by stamping the Morning Glories here. And I'm going to lay out the base layer of all three of the flowers that come in this new stamp set. And I'm going to be stamping a different base color for each. For the large flower there at the bottom, and I'm actually not going to even use all of this one, but I'm going to stamp that with Safe Choice. The other medium-sized flower, the base color is New Fish and Pond, and the last one's base color is Happy Go Lucky. And I like to use the Misty for this so that I can make sure and get a really good stamped impression. Especially on that largest flower, there was an area that just was kept being kind of faint, and I really want the stitching to shine on this so it gives the illusion of a cross-stitched style flower. So beautiful. Now I have a prototype stamp set here. That's why I don't have like the little outlines. I drew all of mine in. On yours, when you get yours in the mail after you've purchased it, it's going to have those great little lines and all of it's going to be written out for you so you know which step is what. I went ahead and did that on mine so that you would have a good idea of kind of what that looks like. Next, I'm adding the second layer, and I accidentally didn't change the ink color in the top right flower. So I'm just going to cross that baby out because that is not the color I meant to do. So I am going to go ahead and just re-ink my other two. My second color for the flower in the top left is Daydreaming, and my second color for the flower there at the bottom is Happy Go Lucky. Kind of a tone-on-tone look for these Morning Glories. The two little areas on the big flower and the one on the other, you might think that like maybe looks like a leaf right now, but it actually is a little bud. And so we'll add the greenery here in just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that final flower again. Again, starting with the Happy Go Lucky ink, and I'm just switching my base color, kind of swapping them from the other card, and then I stamped the Tickle or Safe Choice rather next for that one. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the next part of these flowers, and that is the little center area, and that is going to be stamped all with the You Said What yellow ink, and I did that for all three. There's a center for all three flowers there. Then I'm going to line up the greenery, the leaves for each of these, ink those up with the Chirp Chirp ink, and stamp those a couple times as well until I have a really good stamped impression. Now the embroidery hoops are so fantastic. I just love these, and what goes better with a cross-stitch design but an embroidery hoop? I'm using the medium and small embroidery hoops, and I'm going to die cut little areas from one of the large flowers and excuse me, and then the two, pretty much the whole flower from the other two designs, so that I end up with three floral designs in embroidery hoops. From this, I'm actually only going to keep the inside portion to kind of create an inlay or framed up area. Then I will die cut these same embroidery hoops from some fun foam that has been backed with Stick It, and the front of it is just some smooth white cardstock. On the embroidery hoops, I want to add a little color. I'm going to use some Gathered Twigs Distress ink. I actually have my own inking tool for Gathered Twigs Distress ink, and I didn't ink it up. I just went ahead and kept the ink that was already on my foam ink blending tool, and it gives a nice soft kind of a wood color to these embroidery hoops. So that way they'll have a little color to them when I go ahead and put them on the background. For the background, I have a piece of aqua cardstock here that I'm going to die cut with the largest patched layers die. And that's going to give a great stitching detail all the way around the border of this background panel. Everything definitely has that hand-stitched feel on this card. For my greeting, I'm going to grab the Thank You So Much from the Waffle Flower Notions stamp set, line that up in the bottom left corner of my panel. And for this, I will ink it up with the Leica Pro ink. Stamp that a couple times with this nice gray ink on the aqua cardstock to get a nice solid impression. This is going to dry much lighter than what it appears here. Then there are some great little images from the Notions stamp set, like the needle, thread, and scissors. And I'm going to take these plus the couple of little hearts, and using the New Fish and Pond ink, I'm going to do some tone-on-tone stamping all around the background. This is going to give it a little bit of interest to the background without overwhelming the morning glories, which those stitched morning glories in the embroidery hoops are the stars of the show. This is simply kind of the supporting cast, if you will. It's just a little something that adds interest to the background, but won't take away from the overall design. This is a great way to kind of give yourself your own custom tone-on-tone pattern paper. I'm a huge fan of tone-on-tone. And I'm just kind of building around the greeting. I'm masking off the edges. I don't want any of my images to go past that stitched design there from the Patched Layers die. And I'm using my scraps of Post-it tape from running my dies through the die cutting machine. And I'm going to fill this entire thing with my images. Little scissors, the needles, hearts, and then a little thread coming from that needle is a fun look as well. Whatever color background you choose to do, try to pick an ink color to match, and you can create all kinds of fantastic tone-on-tone backgrounds. I think the scissors and needles work so well with these stitched design stamps, because you'll definitely need a needle and thread and some scissors when doing a cross stitch project. Really, really fun. Once I have this all filled in, I can go ahead and start assembling the rest of the card design. I'm going to place the embroidery hoops right there on the background. And my cardstock is not sticking to the fun foam quite as well as I want it to. I think maybe the stick-it wasn't all the way across. I was using a scrap of fun foam, so I'm gluing that down in place. The dimensional embroidery hoop kind of helps give it that look of an actual embroidery hoop. I'm replacing the center die cut pieces in each embroidery hoop. I'm going to flip my panel over and just trim off the excess that's hanging over that one edge. I'll adhere this to a white top fold card base, and this is going to finish off my framed up Morning Glories card featuring the new Morning Glories stamps and the embroidery hoop dies. For more product information, please visit waffleflower.com. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook for more creative ideas.